the Saturday Night Special LA edition, brought to you by Northwest Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of the Washington Commanders. Now, Northwest is celebrating game day and thanking Commanders fans with a $400 cash bonus when you open your first ever checking account. Now, this is a limited time offer, so do not wait. Visit northwestnwfcu.org/Washington to find out how you can save on this cash bonus. And remember, stop searching and go Northwest. Commanders family, Brian Cole Jr. here with us. Santana Mars. Brian Mitchell.
Hold on. I got to get with the crew. All right, let's see here. There we go.
Because we are in LA.
Yeah, we get with the crew. We
are in Baja Sharkies in Hermosa Beach. You can't catch the vibes, but we are here at the Commanders fan rally. Now, before we get started, B-Mitch, what are we doing here and what did y'all do here today?
Well, we came in today. We had a lot of fans here. I'm talking about the most we've seen since we've been here all year. And got here. We were downstairs thinking we were supposed to be downstairs. Couldn't move. And they said, well, you're upstairs. I'm thinking, like, upstairs? You mean you got people upstairs, too? And we've just been out here hanging out with the fans, talking to them. They talked to Tanner and I about what they've experienced with us, what they appreciate. And also we had a chance to tell them. Pop's over here, been around for 60 years as a fan. 60 years as a fan. So, you know, I had a chance to sit there and listen to all that. It was cool.
I really want to tell y'all the truth, but when we walked in downstairs the day earlier, I could have sworn B-Mitch ran a punt back, and I went for 102 touchdowns. That's how they treated us. I mean, love here, man. You know, we have these rallies often on the road, but you know, that's one of the things I love about this fan base, because not only do they travel, man, they show you the same love regardless of the outcome, and that's why I truly want to see us become winners.
Give them a gift back.
You know, you have to give these fans back for how much they support us.
Man, the fans show so much love, and during this show, really, this is all about y'all. So what we want you to do is, when you're watching on Facebook, YouTube, or X, leave your questions for these gentlemen right here. They will be answered as long as you put hashtag left hand up. Hashtag left hand up, and my producer Maddie will be sending me all of your guys' questions, and we will take them live on air as we do this show here at the Commanders Rally. Now, fellas, like we always do, we start off with LA memories, right? B-Mitch, I'm gonna start with you.
All right.
What comes to mind when you think about LA?
Well, when I think about LA, Wayne Sevier was my special teams coach. He left and he became the special teams coach of the Rams. We are now playing them. And Wayne had told them how to come at me. I told Wayne, I'm going to score on you. He said, you don't be doing no diving from the 3-yard line. I said, I promise you I will. Go check the stats.
Go check them.
Los Angeles Rams, I broke one, and I got to the 3-yard line, and went airborne.
You got in there?
Hell yeah. I wanted to show him what I got.
When you go, B-Mitch always got a good story for us. Now, what's crazy is I'm surprised by this. Santana told me he's never played in L.A. But you know what? You got other L.A. times. Because, brother, before you was the superstar football player, you was an actor. You were a thespian. Talk about that in your acting chops.
And I won't say I was an actor. I think when you was as young as I was doing some of the things I was doing, I was into drama. I was doing a lot of plays coming up, you know, in elementary and middle school. And then I remember my mom telling me, you're starting to smell yourself. Because I darn sure was smelling myself, and I knew I didn't want to do that no more because I wanted to play football. You know, and it was crazy because I was accepted at the School of Arts and down in Miami called Dash School of Arts. And with me being accepted to go to Dash for high school, I automatically would have had a free ride to college. So, you know how parents thinking, like, look, we ain't got no money to pay for
parents like, I got a raise, save that money.
Take advantage of this. And I remember saying, nah, I'm going to play football. And I don't know how she worded it, but basically it's on you. And I guess I can say that, hey, it all panned out well. You know,
I think you did all right.
You handle business, dog. You handle business.
Well, we appreciate you for believing in yourself. Tanner, I'm going to start with you because let's get into this Rams conversation. Remember, if you got questions for these gentlemen right here, hashtag left hand up in the comments, all right? But until then, let's get into this right now because you actually have ties with the Rams. We talked about this on Command Center. Coach Sean McVay, they busted the music out here, man. They're having a good time. Hopefully y'all can hear us. We're going to power through. Sean McVay, used to be a coach out in Washington. Talk about Sean McVay and your experience with him.
Well, I love Sean. Sean was a guy very innovative. You knew that he was going to be where he's at, you know, sooner or later. I remember when I first got a chance to really work with Sean, he was so young. I think he was 24 years old. And being that I was much older, veteran at that time, very seasoned veteran, I was probably in my early 30s. And Sean was an assistant receiver coach. And I remember being in the meeting, we had Keenan McCardell. It was Keenan McCardell first year coaching us as a receiver coach, a head receiver coach.
My homie.
I had just played with Keenan a couple of years prior to that. And we was in a meeting, and you can tell we all learned this new offense that they're trying to, teach us together. But Sean knew it, and he would say things in the back of the meeting, I would hear it. And being the guy who I was, one day he said something, and I'm like, hold on, hey, Keenan, can I, cut you off for a moment? I'm like, Sean, can you speak up and say what you said? And he was very hesitant, but he said it. And when he said it, I'm like, yeah, man, because I'm like, Sean, you need to give us that because you know it. And even Keenan's new at this. So I'm sure Keenan doesn't have a problem with you teaching with him whatever you know. Yeah. And I remember we left that meeting, and Sean looked, and he came to me and said, hey, bud, man, you don't know what that did for me. You just took a lot of pressure off me. And
Hell yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I care less how old you are. I care less what your role is. I'm trying to learn this. You know it. Teach it to me. And from there on, man, we had a great relationship. So I'm happy to see him being, having the success he had, won a Super Bowl out of all those guys who left here. And he's just one of those guys, man. You can't do nothing but love him, man. He's a lovable guy and showing that same kind of energy as a coach.
Yeah, and an excellent coach. And
Hell yeah, he is.
We talk a lot about these Sam Howell trials through his first year as a starter. Bill Belichick, Pete Carroll. Sean McVay is very much in that elk where it's a tough guy to play against. What do you expect to see from a Sean McVay defense and offense?
Well, see, the thing about it, I think Sean, his thing is about the offense. I think our defense need to worry about that. But we already know they're led by AD, Aaron Donald.
Yes.
So we got to be focused on him. And I think the ultimate thing is for Sam, just like everybody on that offense, the offensive lineman need to know where he's at. The running back need to know where he's coming from. And Sam needs to always know where Aaron Donald's coming from because that's where, if you got to give yourself a chance to say, okay, left side is going to be, I need to have the ball going in 1.8 seconds. In the middle, I can watch them. I can maybe be able to figure it out. Right side, maybe 2.5. You need to know Aaron Donald's over there.
Yeah.
And I think that's the whole thing because this guy doesn't just disrupt your running game. He disrupts your passing game, your running game, and make you second-guess yourself. Yep. So they're going to have to worry about him. And for Sam, when we said, I saw Sam twice. Last night I saw him, I was checking in, I saw him earlier today. I just told him, I said, hey, man, just keep growing, keep learning. Because this is the thing about that. Young people make mistakes. Hell, veteran players make mistakes against the great ones. But what has to happen is every game you got to show your improvement and learn stuff. And they say a lot about him learning from mistakes. I've seen some things where he does that tremendously. But there's those other things sometimes where he makes a mistake, then he wants to try to make it all up.
You can't.
And when you try to make it all up, now you're starting to snowball. So what he needs to do is just realize, make a mistake is forgotten. Be Fred Smoot. Fred get beat for a touchdown. What he does the next play? Talk trash to you. He just brushes it off.
Short-term memory.
He has to brush it off and realize the next play. My mindset is to get the hands to my playmakers. If I do that, I'll be okay. Everybody say what they want about Brock Purdy. That dude has shown by doing that, you can become damn near great. And then the whole Tommy DeVito, what is he doing? Out of his hands quickly. That's all I ask for because that shows a level of understanding your offense and football IQ.
Yeah, and something that I heard EB talk about earlier this week when he's always on the 106.7 The Fan, B. Mitch and Finley show. And I was listening to him right before I went to go work out. I believe this was Friday.
Checks in the mail, Tanner.
And
checks in the mail.
I believe it was Friday, and I heard him talk, and he talked about, they asked him the same question about what he want to see from Sam, and he just continue to grow to, show progression. And he was like, look, at the end of the day, and we talk to Smoot all the time. He says this all the time, and I laugh when he says it but I kind of changed the words up to how you do it. Everybody wants something done so fast. They want to be able to put it in the microwave and say, okay, it's done in 3 minutes. But that's not football. I mean, B. Mitch have a thing where he said he want to see a guy in a 4-game span, 5-game span. But honestly, you want to see a guy throughout the whole year, especially a new guy. You know what I mean? And then when you look at everything that he's dealing with, we're so eager to praise a guy when he has a couple of good plays, and then throw the guy away in the trash when he's not playing as well.
We don't have no middle ground.
You have to understand, with time, everything will change. It's going to be some highs, it's going to be some lows. You have to stay neutral, because at the end of the day, once he become that player that he can make everything seem neutral, where it's automatic that he's not having too many highs or too many lows, but it's this consistent play, then we'll have our guy. And I think we have him. I think he's a guy that's very capable. And regardless of what we do next year as far as draft and all that stuff, he's still a guy that you want to have and grow with, because if we got to blow this thing up and bring in new offense, new blockers, all that, it's going to be the same thing all over again. So just get a guy time, but the most I want to see him just continue to grow and not press. When he's in those situations where he mess up, hey, it's life. It's football. Football is the same thing when it comes to life. Some of the things that we experience, just deal with it. But understand now it don't mean press. It means now slow down even more and be mindful. Or when it comes to what he does, speed up a little bit, knowing that if you're getting sacked a lot, hey, I'm going to get this ball out. Even if you ain't ready, if you might check down, you better turn around because I'm throwing it to you. You know what I'm saying?
Stick it to him.
And to be Mrs. Point, Tanner, Aaron Donald's going to be a big part of that test for Sam Howell. And that actually leads us to our first left-hand-up question given to us by producer Maddie Benton. Is Aaron Donald the best defensive lineman ever? Are y'all ready to put that on Aaron Donald? This is for both of y'all right now. I'm going to start with Tanner.
For me, no.
Yeah, it's hard for me to say ever, because I like guys like LT, which he was an outside linebacker, but you could say he put his hand in the dirt, so at times he was D lineman. Or I can go to the big, to the guy played in Green Bay. I can't think of his name right now.
The Reverend.
The Reverend.
Philadelphia
exactly.
That's where I would go.
Yeah, he to me.
Reggie White's a great
Reggie White, there you go. I haven't seen guys do it like him in a while. So, but inside and outside, Reggie White could have played. So I can't say ever, but for right now, what we doing right now, yes, he's the best in the league right now. Aaron Donald is the best in the league.
We need to be concerned about.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because Reggie White, God bless his soul, is no longer here.
Yeah,
I had to have. I was in sweats at night, getting ready for a game to play against him. The guy takes a 300-pound man and clubs him, and he goes airborne. He goes to D tackle, D end, and he does the same thing over and over. He did it in the NFC East. He went over to Green Bay and did it. I was concerned about him. Aaron Donald, on the other hand, everyone say he's small. He's 6'2" by 295. But he probably can run about a 4'6", 4'7".
Yeah, for sure.
Reggie White was 6'6", 315. He ran 4'6". Wow. Aaron Donald will stop your run. He'll stop your pass. He'll go outside, he'll go inside, he'll spin on you. Aaron Donald has everything that you need to be an assassin.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Somebody just yelled Dexter Manley, and that is exactly what Aaron Donald is.
Yes.
The guy that is not ultimately the prototypical size, but he made plays time and time and time again.
And B-Mitch, when you're going up against a powerhouse like Aaron Donald, we have an offensive line that's some new pieces in there, some young guys. It's a big test for them. Sam Howell is the most sacked quarterback in the NFL, on pace to be the most sacked ever. Yeah. What does the offensive line got to do to fight this Rams front?
Fight. That's what you have to do. You have to go and see. I've been in games, Tanner's been in games, where someone told us, that guy there is unbelievable. Nobody can beat him. But you know what we thought? I'm gonna beat his ass today.
Yeah, good up.
And whether it's Leno, left guard, Chris,
Sadiq playing this week.
Sadiq Charles back. You have to believe that I'm going to show people today I'm good enough to play against Aaron Donald. They're gonna be running backs. If you don't have no immediate route, stay in and chip. Tight end, do the same thing. People like Aaron Donald, you got to make them play physical games where you're hitting them from spots they don't expect. And when you do something like that, we can see. You know, he's good. But hell, last time I checked, if he gets cut, he bleeds, right?
Yeah.
He's a human being. Let's figure it out.
And Tanner, B-Mitch mentioned the running backs. So let's not hide the lead right here. Brian Robinson yesterday was announced he will not be playing. That is a big hit for us. Brian Robinson Jr., a big running back. How do we recover from losing Brian Robinson Jr.?
I mean, we have guys in the stable that's ready. I think AG is his game. AG, perfect time for him to say, guess what, man, don't forget about me. We've seen him have his, spurts here and there throughout the year when he got his chances, but now he's probably the lead guy. Or Rodriguez, who knows? I think when you want to combine both of those guys, we can win the game with both of those guys' skill set. AG out the backfield catching the ball or running between the tackles, but Rodriguez averaging 3, 4, 5 yards every time he touches the ball. So I think we have guys that's capable.
Yeah.
But although we will miss B-Rob, but those two guys, I'm pretty sure that tonight they ain't gonna sleep well because they ready.
Yeah.
You know, normally when you get a chance to start and say, okay, especially a guy like AG who's shown us before he can be that guy, the job got taken away from him, and now he's getting that opportunity again. This is the time that you say to the coaching staff, if you ain't gonna do nothing with it, somebody else will.
See, the thing about it is this, where AG, people have ups and down feelings about him.
Yeah.
This is a game you can solidify some of that. Make people think more about you in a positive way. Chris Rodriguez, we've praised him, and then he get in the game, he has a couple fumbles, but he's shown when he gets in the game, he averages 5, 6 yards a carry.
He's a bulldozer.
Sometimes you get your chance, and I think this is the thing about athletes. The guy's my teammate, he's hurt, I get an opportunity. My first thought is like, man, you know, he's hurt, I'm just gonna be here for him. Your thought has to be, he's hurt.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show them this is my job.
Yeah.
Okay? I got my opportunity in the body bag game. 2 people I was backing up got hurt. You know what my mindset was? They ain't playing no more.
Time to eat.
And when I got my opportunity, I tried to succeed with it. On top of playing quarterback in the game.
Yeah.
So what you have, listen, man, this is not hard feelings. Guys understand. In the NFL, you don't get great opportunities all the time. You don't get many opportunities.
Yeah.
But when you get one, you gotta make damn sure that the coach understands this kid needs time. Or somebody from another team say, if they make him available, I'm taking it.
And you know, fellas, man, great analysis, but I think it's time for another left hand up if y'all cool with that.
Yeah, let's get it.
I got a really good question. So good, I got to take my glasses off to read it. All right, this says, what separates great players from others? Since everyone can lift weights, practice techniques, and watch game film, Tanner, I'm going to start with you. What separates great players from others?
The ones that do it every time they out there. You know, it's something that I've often asked that question to myself. You know, when you're a player in this league or any league or any level, when you're trying to be elite, you're trying to be the person that the coaches always count on, or you're trying to be that guy that when we get the rundown for the week, and your name is up there on the opposing team's radar saying that this is the guy we got to stop, because you're consistently going out there and putting it and showing this is what you do. Yeah. Great players are going to have bad games too, but that at the same time, that guy eats, sleep, and you know what else? Football or whatever his job is. You understand? Yeah. And it's not a time when we're not practicing or when we're not on the clock, that guy's still putting in that work, whether it's in the studying on, you know, at home or in the film room, or getting that extra work on the field. To me, I think that's what separates a lot of those guys. That's what separates the prime time and the Jerry Rices and the Walter Paytons. Yeah. Those guys, I mean, we heard the stories, but also without just hearing the stories, when you watch the plays, their highlights look like every week it was a highlight because they put up the same performances. So to me, that's what separates the guys when we want to say great and just average or good players.
I think you mentioned 2 people, Walter Payton and Jerry Rice. Guys that everyone will tell you worked harder in the offseason than they did during the regular season. The great ones are those that make the routine and make the difficult look routine.
Look routine, yep.
Because they are consistent in what they do. They don't wait until Sunday to try to win the game. Mm-hmm. Coach Gibbs, you play with Coach. Coach Gibbs say, we win football games in the offseason. Yeah. So when I am working out, I'm just getting ready to get started, and Tanner about to go to the Beyonce concert, you know, no, I'm not gonna say Tanner. I'm gonna say Smooth about to go to the Beyonce concert.
Let's put Smooth out there. We're gonna throw Smooth on the bus.
We gonna work out.
Yeah.
We got some studying to do. Meet you at the after party. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. Those are the guys that put the work in when everybody else is now trying to chill. Yeah. And when they get on the football field, they also, like, I played with Matt Millen. Matt Millen was the slowest linebacker I've ever seen in my life. But he made more tackles than anybody I ever saw in my life. Because that dude knew off the bat, he knew that whenever they line up in this, they're running this play. He was ahead of the play.
Yeah.
So he studied. He knew his thing. Too many football players think that their job is to walk around and sign autographs and be an athlete. Your job is to be a damn football player.
Yeah.
And if you're putting more time into your extracurricular activities than you are your job, you are not going to be a great one. That's the difference. The great ones put all of their stuff into what they know they have to do.
And Commanders family, if there's two people that'll tell you how to be great, it's these gentlemen right here. Great, excellent question from our fans. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or X, leave a comment with hashtag left hand up to have your questions, responses answered by these legends right here. Now, speaking of Washington legends, it's been a while since we've done this Saturday Night Special. It's been so long, actually, since we've done the last one. Our colleague and friend, London Fletcher, was named as a semifinalist for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And I think it's worth us mentioning and giving that brother some love right now.
Think about that.
And highlighting that for a second. While we talk, London Fletcher. And Bemis, as we talk about greatness, because you are somebody that's also going to be headed to the Hall of Fame that one day, how cool is it to see London Fletcher getting that recognition?
It's very cool, and I think what makes it very special, London came from a small school that you don't look at as a football powerhouse. London is undersized for a middle linebacker. But London is not going to be outworked by anybody.
Yeah.
And that's the thing about it. When you see a guy like London that has all these accolades coming to him, you have to go where he started from. See, I always tell people, if somebody bring me a Ferrari, I don't care what car you bring, I'm going to probably beat you. But if I show up in a Volkswagen Beetle and I beat your Ferrari, that means my Ferrari was garbage.
Yeah.
And that Volkswagen Beetle is exceptional.
Yeah.
London came into the league, people expected him to be a Volkswagen Beetle. He destroyed Ferraris. Yeah. He destroyed Lamborghinis. Bad man. And you have to give him his credit.
Have to give him his credit. Tanner, go ahead, show your boy some love.
I mean, look, man, I can't say much more than what I've said. I think, you know, when you think about this guy's career, his journey to get to where he got, I get a kick out of seeing him throughout the week and just picking his brain. Yeah. You know, because when we played, both of us was tunnel vision. Like, London was on a podcast I was doing on my own some years ago, and he was like, man, Tanner, he broke something down and said, Tanner, I watched you every week, every day of the week.
Wow.
Get ready for practice. You had the same routine. You put your back plasters on, you get your ankles taped, and you hit that door and you don't look back. And he say, bro, like, I knew then you the guy I can go to work with. Because me and London didn't talk during games or during the week, like high and by. It was like, because that's how you are with a lot of these other players. Right. But just to get to the person who he is, beyond the person he is, the player he was, the numbers speak for itself. There's guys that London just, clowning when it comes to his numbers.
Yes.
So why not him? I think he's deserving. I understand the market that we was in. You know, a lot of folks, we talk about this all the time. It was hard for us to get Pro Bowls because we wasn't winning games. Yeah. And rightfully so, but if it's an individual award, then give him that individual award because what he was able to accomplish, even in the midst of being on a team that wasn't winning or wasn't successful. So my hat's off to him. I'm not sure what they're going to do, but hopefully soon, you know what I mean? And right now he's a semifinalist, so let's hope and pray that he gets in there this year.
Definitely a brother that deserves it now. You know, I didn't play football. I can't talk on that like y'all can. However, I work with London Fletcher regularly, and the way he prepares for shows, for his radio shows, for podcasts, for things of that nature, London is a consummate professional, and I can't wait to see him in the Hall of Fame. Thank y'all so much for y'all questions. Now let's get into a little bit of our defense, right? Yeah. Because we have a big quarterback we're going up against, Matthew Stafford.
Ooh, Lord,
started off a little slow this year, but man, lately has been going crazy.
Yes.
Tanner, what do you expect to see from Matthew Stafford, and how can we slow him down?
Man, well, first of all, I hope I don't expect to see what I saw the last 3 weeks.
Oh man,
I think he's what he threw 10 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks, 300 plus yards in the last 3 weeks. In the last 4 weeks, they 3-1. Matthew Stafford, since week 11, since he's been back, things been hot for these guys. Yeah. He's picking apart any defense that he's get head up, and it's something that we talked about on the command center, just talking about how I guess you can say people don't give him enough credit. You know, he played in Detroit. That market sucked. You say he had the Megatron. He also had the other kid that I was talking about that I like the most. He's a little shorter guy. But Matthew Stafford is a baller. He's a baller, and that's why this offense is humming the way it's humming. I think defensively, man, we have our work cut out. Now, do we have enough guys to go out there and compete? Yes, we do. But I think, you know, one of the things to me, it's all about a mindset. You know, people get caught up in the X's and O's about football and say, well, because they doing this, then it give us no chance. No, we all professionals.
Yeah.
Any given Sunday, any given Thursday, any given Monday, somebody can lose. So you have to have the mindset. Just like when the Giants beat us at home that last game, it was no way you was going to tell me DeVito was going to come in there and beat us. And it was their mindset. You can watch it from the first quarter to the last. They went out there and took advantage of every opportunity we gave. So you have a team that's 3-1 in the last 4 games. You have a team in us 0-4 in the last 4 games. It's about our mindset. It's about our approach. Defensively, we got Ron now calling the shots. This is his second time out. He had a couple of weeks now to get all the things, whatever he did the first time out, to kind of get them to gel together now to make us have a better performance than we had against the Dolphins. If you really look at that Dolphins game, to be critical, yes, they gave up a lot of big plays, but they also played better than they have played the entire year when you really break things down. I think a couple of key splash plays here and there was kind of, you know, what handicapped us in that game. But I think this game, this week, we have to be mindful of the explosives. That's week in and week out. I mean, that's been our Achilles heel, the explosive plays. Every team has gotten a chance to get the explosives. Be mindful of the explosives. Make sure we can slow their running game down, because when you have a team that is balanced as this offense, they come in very balanced. Their running back is averaging almost about, 5 yards to carry?
Yeah, right at 5.
He's almost close to what?
Kyren Williams.
I think he's almost close to
159 carries, 601 yards, 7 touchdowns.
He got 10-plus touchdowns this year. He's been on fire as well. When you add that to what Matthew Stafford can do with those guys on the outside, Kupp and your boy Puka Nacua, it can get ugly. It can get ugly. I'm saying that right now. It can get ugly. But I think you had to keep all those guys in front of you. Just be that bend but not break. But more than anything, we have to get some turnovers, man. And that's something that these guys don't do a lot of. They don't turn the ball over, but we have to. You know, you see so many teams that say, I'm waiting on the turnover. No, it's teams out there that's forcing turnovers. Yeah. You got a guy, you tackling a guy, go after the ball, strip the ball, do whatever you can. You have to be a difference maker on the defense to be special. So I need to see some of that this weekend, because that's the only way I think we're going to have a chance to win this game.
I think we look at Matthew Stafford, we look at Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, Kyren Williams. Their yards and stuff got better because of one thing. Their O-line has started playing better. Yeah. Their O-line has been more consistent. Our strong suit is supposed to be our D-line, especially the 2 guys in the middle. They have to play better games. On top of it, our secondary, one thing I know about Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, they do the same things every play. Yeah. They run routes precisely, exactly how they're supposed to. And if you mess up at all, they're going to make you pay for it. So we cannot have mental mistakes in the secondary. That's one thing. And we have to put pressure on Matthew. If you don't pressure NFL quarterback, I don't care if they're Tommy DeVito, Brock Purdy, you can give me Aaron Rodgers. If you don't pressure them, they will pick you apart as if you're in 7-on-7. So we can't play a 7-on-7 game. We got to play 11-on-11 game. Yep. Make sure everybody has a way. And we also lost Jamin Davis, which means now the tight end becomes a problem. So what linebacker is going to step up? The way you solidify and solve all of that, get pressure on the quarterback. Up front, win your battles, point blank.
And Beamish, you mentioned the loss of Jamin Davis. Well, we are getting back Emmanuel Forbes Jr. You mentioned those receivers for the Rams. How helpful is it to get Emmanuel Forbes back and get him back out there getting those reps? Emmanuel
seems to have issues with guys that are physically that physically bigger than he is. I don't think, Cooper is bigger. Well, everybody's bigger than Emmanuel on the offense when they're on the field. But they're not those physical guys. They will route you to death. Yeah. They will be patient with their routes and let you make a mistake. He's going to have to show that he has some growth now from when the last time he was there.
And he talks about routing you to death. Tanner, that was the type of play you had.
Yeah.
What advice can you give this secondary on how to guard a player very similar to you?
I mean, just know your responsibilities. You gotta know what your coverage allow you to do at this particular, each particular play. I think what I've learned over the years of just watching guys, especially a guy like Fred, we talk so much throughout the week about the way he saw things. Pick your poison. Know when to pick your poison and how to pick your poison. if I got a guy that I know I'm scared of, or if I got a guy that I feel like, you know, he's a threat downfield, I want to put hands on him right now. I want to make sure I disrupt things at the line of scrimmage to slow him down to get to his spot. So now that allow the quarterback to get off him. If I got a guy like Cooper Kupp, Puka, them guys are probably not as fast as Tyreek Hill or any other guy. Now you gotta understand that these guys gonna double move you. They gonna give you things. They gonna give you great stems. But you, as a defensive back, I gotta understand when I'm in man, when I have help, and when I'm in zone. If you play your responsibility, you shouldn't have no problems. But that's what our problem is. We have guys that's playing their responsibility but worrying about something else, or not understanding what's going on throughout the play. So hopefully, with some of the things I saw last time they was out when they played against the Dolphins, I saw they match up a little differently than what they was doing when they had Del Rio, and I think that's a credit to Ron, how he made them have a chance to say, okay, I'm going to take a little bit of things away from them. I'm going to simplify it a little bit so they can play faster. So I'm looking forward to these guys playing much faster and having less responsibilities out there in coverage.
And Tan, to hear you talk about that reminds me of our last Command Center episode where you, Logan Paulson, and Fred Smoot really broke down those receivers. You and Fred even got on the field a little bit, showed a few moves. You guys can catch us on Command Center on our YouTube page every single Thursday. Definitely go check out that episode and really see these guys break that down. Now, before we move away from our defense, let's talk a little bit more about this offense. Y'all mentioned Kyren Williams.
Yeah.
Man, this boy can play.
Yeah.
He dealt with some injuries this season, but has still put up incredible numbers. We've struggled to slow down running backs a little bit, B-Mitch. How do we slow down Kyren Williams?
I mean, the thing about it, you got to win at the line of scrimmage. You got to be able to fit and get rid of.
Yeah.
You know, I've talked a little bit about, I see our guys doing the walk sometimes. The longer you stay in contact with an offensive lineman, the better that running back's going to run. If you dismiss that offensive lineman, that running back has to find another spot, another exit point. So they have to win the battle at the line of scrimmage point blank. And it's not about winning it right here. When I watch football, I want to see it from the side. And I look to see where the offensive line, where that line of scrimmage goes. If it's going into the backfield, my defense is winning. If it's going into the defensive backfield, that offense is winning.
Yeah.
We have to win at the line of scrimmage or we're going to have problems. Because he is shifty, he's patient, and he get and go.
Santana Moss, you got to add anything to that for stopping Kyren Williams?
No, I think the game is won and lost in the trenches. Yeah. I mean, we say that week in and week out. If you oppose your will and show them that you're not gonna let them be the enforcers, then you have a chance. I think the only way we're gonna be able to do that against this run game is do just that. Look, man, we in enemy territory. You know, these guys gonna come out with a lot of confidence. And, you know, when you play a team like us, with what we've been showing on film, we basically last in every category on defense. When you have an offense that's almost in the top 5 or in the top 10 in every category when it comes to scoring, you know, yardage per, you know, percentage per yard and stuff like that of that nature. So they're going to come in very confident. So they're going to try to oppose their will. Yeah. Somebody got to hit somebody in the mouth early and often. No, seriously. Somebody got to set the tone. Hit somebody in the mouth. You hit somebody in the mouth, trust me, I've been there. I've been that guy that hit somebody in their mouth, and they were like, oh, I'm going to cover him a little differently. and that's how it has to go as a running back. You got a running back out there that you know that could be a threat. Man, I don't care if it's a penalty that play. Hit somebody and let it be known it's going to be a long day coming this way. You know what I mean? And that'll make them think twice. So, I mean, that's what it's about right now. Like I said before, we talked about these last 4 weeks. It's a mindset thing, bro. We already see the wreck. We ain't got nothing really much. They say we still in the hunt. But if you want to say we are, okay, we are. But we got.
We're in the hunt for a job next year.
This is the first week of a 4-game season. What you gonna leave on? What you gonna put on your resume for these last 4 weeks? For sure. You hear me? As a player, what you putting on your resume for whatever coach come in or whatever coach watching you saying that I need you on my team?
Every once in a while, a man comes to a breaking point. You've been bullied all your life.
Yeah. And
every once in a while, we've seen stories of it. We've experienced stories. We hear movies about it where that dude that's been being bullied punches somebody in the mouth. In a literal sense. When you do that, what happens to the bully most time? They don't know how to respond. Because they never have to deal with it. So come and do something you haven't done all year, where you got to play from start to finish. I've been asking for it for like the last 8 years. I want to see a full game, offense, defense, special teams, And if they give me that, they can play with anybody they want to play with. But normally, offense plays good, 2 or 3 quarters. Then they just spare one. Defense will come in and play great that one quarter, but they didn't play good other. Special teams this year has been a little up and down because we all know the snap is not always consistent.
Yep.
The great thing about football, if you're consistent, you're good. If you're not consistent, you're going to be in positions like we are right now.
Mediocre.
And we want to see our Commanders hit some folks in the mouth. Not literally, but figuratively.
Literally.
And right now.
Sometimes literally you got to do it too.
How about figuratively?
And as you can hear, we are amongst Commanders family. We are here at Hermosa Beach at Baja Sharkies at the Commanders fan rally. Commanders fans, y'all having fun? And we love that. We appreciate y'all so much for traveling. We got a lot of burgundy and gold love in this building, and we still have to touch on this offense. And we still want to hear from y'all. Leave y'all comments, Facebook, YouTube, X, hashtag left hand up to get y'all answers, your questions answered by these 2 legends, man. I feel bad even talking over the chance, but we got a show to do, so we're going to keep it moving.
Yeah.
Should we just let this ride, Mitch? Should we just let
We
this
keep
ride?
talking, we good at this.
So, okay, now let's talk
That's
about
when you
our
show how good you are when the tough times go.
Amen to that. Now, let's talk about this offense a little bit. We talk about Sam Howell. We're coming off of a bye week. Now, Beavis, you've been a quarterback that's had a bye week. How important is this time for a young quarterback to prepare for the end of the season?
Very. Because the thing about it is, Sam Howell has proven when he makes a mistake, he knows he made the mistake. So right now, all week what they should have been doing is just working on what he has to do better.
Yeah.
Eric, every time I hear Eric talk about Sam, I can see that Eric is very satisfied the way Sam reacts to stuff. And the thing of it is, when you get and make a mistake and you let it just, it drains you if you don't forget about it. Sam forgets about it and move on. He just got to learn that catching punts is very similar to being a quarterback. I'm just looking for the punt. I'm counting 1,001, 1,002. If that thing get to 4, I better start thinking about waving my hand. If I don't, I'm going to get hit. As a quarterback, you go 1,001, 1,002, 1,000, you better get rid of the ball or you're going to get hit. He got to just speed up the process just a little bit more.
Not even just counting it. I'm pretty sure Michigan attest to this. As a punt returner, when you really get good, you got a feel for it. It's not even, you don't have to count no more. I can be looking up and feel. I can see color without even looking. So as a quarterback, I'm sure you don't get a chance to look at every individual person rushing.
Exactly.
You feeling it. You seeing flashes of color. So you know, even if I see my own guy too close, maybe that guy that he's blocking is close. So I need to get rid of the ball. So it's a feel thing. And I think the more he's out there, the more he's in the heat of the battle, it will get better. But it's hard sometimes when you're dealing with some of the things that we've dealt with or he dealt with up front. You know what I mean? It's both. It's like hand in hand. You know, it's a seesaw of a lack of production at times from either the offensive line or him. But I think together, you know, I spoke about it earlier this week, together those guys got to come together and just say, hey, man, I got you, you got me. You know what I mean? Block as long as you can. I'm going to get rid of the ball as early as I can. And when they have that kind of bond together and they understand that, look, whether you going to do it, I'm going to do it, we have to be in this thing. We have to have each other back. And the more we see them have it at times, but then there's at times where those teams are pinning their ears back because we're in a vulnerable state in the game that we're just trying to chunk the ball because we're so far behind. So that's what I'm saying. I'm hoping that going forward, at least especially this week, this particular game, we kind of get into one of those ball games where we can control our own destiny and not be coming from behind. You know what I mean? Playing a game where we consistently drive and getting points, going toe-to-toe if we have to, but in the ball game for the most part throughout the game so we don't have to see him dropping back as much and we can dictate what we want to do.
This is a great time to play their best and show something great. Yeah. You know why I say that? We're in Los Angeles, Hollywood, where the lights are.
Lights on.
Why not shine? Why not say this is a time?
Yeah. Where the stars
because if you go out there and you put a great win in tomorrow, people's mindset changes just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
You know, you got to show that you can handle the lights. You know, I used to always say, guys play great in practice. When they turn on them lights, boy, some things happen a little different.
Yep.
Well, the lights are the brightest in L.A., right?
Amen.
This is where the stars are built.
Hollywood.
I would say if any player can listen to this show make your hay tomorrow.
Yeah.
The lights are on. Show that you're a star.
And somebody that's definitely made their hay, because we're about to wrap up. My laptop's dying, so we're wrapping up pretty soon. But one player that has definitely made his hay for years now has been our wide receiver, Terry McLaurin.
Yeah.
He was nominated as a Walter Payton Man of the Year,
Yeah.
representative for our team. Tanner, that's your boy.
Yeah.
How special is Terry McLaurin?
He's very special. Oh, so articulate. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I got a chance to speak to him on a Players Club this week. He's on the Players Club tonight, so check it out.
YouTube.
Man, I mean, just hearing him talk, I could sit there all day and just let him talk. Ask him a question, just let him talk. But not only that, it's just you understand how mature he is, why he's at the level he's at because of how he plays the game. And all that, I think, together is the reason why we praise him the way we do. Because it's not only that he shows it off the field, he does it on the field. And, you know, the last few weeks, everybody's been harping at the coaching staff and wondering why he's not getting the opportunity. And, you know, B. Michigan, I heard him speak out about it like, hey, I care less of what your scheme is. There's a guy, certain guys on each team that you say, screw the scheme. We're gonna input him to have a play or two every time we step on the field. Every situation we on the field between those lines, we're gonna make sure that we at least have an attempt to him. So I think Terry's a tremendous player, but also a tremendous human being. And to listen to him talk, to hear the mindset he has only in 5 years in this league, like, you talk like a guy that's been here for 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, he was talking like that his first year.
His first year, yeah.
So I'm not surprised of his production on the field, and I'm damn sure not surprised at who the guy he is off the field and why he's deserving of that Walter Payton Man of the Year award.
Terry is a guy who, he goes out, when he's not getting the ball, he's running fast. When he's getting the ball, he's running even faster. He does the things that it takes. He blocks. But when he gets off the field, like I always say, if your first job is good, you have the right to do other jobs.
Yep.
Terry McLaurin has shown he's a great football player. And now he can focus a lot of his attention on doing the things for needy people around the community in his off time.
Yeah.
Because he's shown on the football field he's a bad man.
Yes.
So I love him because he came in expecting to be the guy that's going to be covering kicks.
Yeah.
And he became the #1 receiver.
Yep.
And then he took that and he became a person that not only came to D.C. and received from D.C., he gives back to D.C., the DMV, the metropolitan area.
Yeah.
And I love those guys that come into that area and make something better than it was when they got there.
Yep.
And that's what the Walter Payton Award is all about. A lot of guys have come in and got a lot of money. They ain't do nothing on the field, they ain't do nothing in the community. Terry's gotten his money, he's done stuff on the field and in the community. You can't do nothing but praise that guy.
Can't do nothing but praise him. And I'm actually next to two Washington legends that's also take care of the community. Tanny actually has an event going on right now.
Right now,
man. But he's here spending time with y'all, man. So thank you so much, Tanny. And we're about to wrap up the show, but I think we should wrap it up with one more question.
Let's do it, man.
One more.
Yeah.
All right, this one's a good one to wrap up with. How do they pull off the dub in L.A.? Y'all done kind of talked about it a little bit. Now y'all got to give us a synopsis. B-Mitch, I'm going to start with you.
I'll say this. If they pull off the dub by going out there and simple things we talk about all the time. No turnovers. And stop making the mental mistakes. Yeah. Those are two simple things. I know most people go, oh, that's simple. But you know what? Those two things wins most football games. Yeah. If you are smarter than the others and make less mistakes and don't turn the football over, you win the football game.
Yep.
The only way we have a chance is like what he just said. You have to win that turnover battle. Not only win it as far as not getting turnovers offensively, defensively, you have to stop fighting or playing the hard way. You know what I mean? You have to work smarter, not harder. You have to find or force turnovers. The defense has to come away with a turnover or two. It needs to be a spark in this game somewhere, either special teams or defensively.
Yeah.
The offense has a chance to spark every time they're on the field.
How did the Rams lose last week?
Bingo. Special teams. Yep. It needs to be a spark somewhere, whether it's a punt return, special teams kick return, or a big turnover in a area of the field where we can't do nothing but capitalize off it. But I think that's the only chance you give yourself to be in the game and win the game if you have a few plays like that, because you can't just go toe-to-toe with this team. They're going to try to put up more points. They've done that amongst everybody. You know, the Ravens had to beat them with a punt return to overtime because they was letting you know we're going to go score for score. So find another way to score. So with that being said, man, we got to see them play exceptionally, you know, offensively, defensively, and special teams.
Or we got to get Santana a uniform.
We're close.
They don't want that old man out here.
Boy, still got a 4-4 in him, I promise you.
Oh, my
now,
God.
fellas, man, thank y'all so much for y'all time, man. This has been great. Commanders family, it has been so much fun hanging out with y'all, being good with y'all. This is the Command Center Saturday night special in L.A. brought to you by Northwest Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of the Washington Commanders. Now, Northwest is celebrating game day and thanking Commanders fans with a $400 cash bonus when you open up your first ever checking account. This is a limited time offer, so visit northwestnwfcu.org/Washington to find out how you can score on a cash bonus with your new checking account. And remember to stop searching and go Northwest. Now, Commanders family, we are wrapping up, but I feel like it's only right if y'all start a chant while we send it off. Is that cool? Can we get a chant going?
One more chant.
Can we get one more going? All right, 3, 2, 1. Hail to the Redskins! Commanders family, we will see y'all tomorrow out in LA, baby. So far. See y'all soon.